Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Welcome back for our practice today. So I was just getting my earpods, as you can see, plugged in. So I'm going to go back to a playlist from March 31st on my Spotify. So if you are connected to Spotify, my account is Joe Komar. You can track back to March 31st. I believe it's a flow playlist. And I'm going to play that. I'm going to listen to that if you want music. If you'd rather not, you can simply receive the instruction and have a nice practice today. Let's see. If you've got the playlist going, go ahead and start that now. It's the first song is called Hammock Therapy. Sounds lovely. And we are just about noon here on the West Coast. So all of our classes now being recorded live at noon. And you're welcome to join us during the live, which is great. Energetically, I think it's possible to feel each other practicing together. And then if you can't catch it live, the classes are always available on the YouTube channel. And feel free to share them. So we're still getting about 200 or so views every 24 hours, which means that's a good amount of people that are connecting to the practice. And so, you know, we had this moment at our house yesterday or the day before, this incredible spider. I'm talking like big, meaty spider. My wife Stacy and her sister found it. And it's created this magnificent web. I mean, it is huge across our whole driveway, in between the trees and the house. And it's just such an incredible reminder that we are all connected. And something like this, a practice of going on YouTube and being here, energetically practicing, this is a web. So we talk about kind of moving around, and some of you, we've had, you know, phases of our life, years together practicing, and then you move away and you go somewhere else because that's where life has called you. Well, that web is still intact, so our web continues to expand. And so we've got quite the web going on in regards to these practices over this quarantine. We're heading into month number 7 of being quarantined during this pandemic, and you are doing it, and we are doing it, and hopefully you're finding in that fulfillment, in peace, in moments of contentment in your practice, and so that we can continue to digest, you know, all of this energy that is moving around us. So I hope you have a great practice, and thank you for letting. Let's start in child's pose today. Knees mat width apart. And take your hips back, bring your forehead down onto the ground. And you can start with rolling your forehead out a little bit side to side. Release and relax your jaw, any tightness, any bite that you're feeling in the back of your jaw this afternoon. And then from your child's pose, lift up just about halfway so you're on your forearms. Take your right arm across the mat underneath your left armpit, and then go ahead and turn to the right side of your head. If that's too much, you can keep your forehead straight down into the ground. You might even get a better stretch there underneath your right shoulder blade. Notice on the inhale, so you're drawing air into the body. And then you'll feel that in exhale, you can drop back down and a little bit deeper. And slide the right arm out and bring your forearm onto the mat. Take your left arm behind your right armpit and slide it through. Turn to the left side of your head. If that's a bit much, keep your forehead straight down. Feel underneath your left shoulder blade today. And so in part, there's feeling. There's the physical nature of your practice, which I think calls most of us to our mat. I know it called me. That physical feature of, kind of on the same spectrum as going to the gym. I wanted to do something physical. I wanted to work out. As we are a hot yoga studio, I wanted to sweat and feel that effect, the lift of the endorphins. So there is that part of the experience. And then there's the breath. And there's all the benefits associated with things that we're processing emotionally. And of course, the mental, the mindfulness. Slide your left arm back out. So you're on both forearms. Interlace your fingers, cross your thumbs, take your gaze down. Neck in line with your spine, seal your lips, begin to breathe in through your nose and out here. And so your back should be nice and flat. If it's rounding, let your chest come down a bit. And feel your belly pressing down towards your inner thighs. And then start to walk your elbows forward. So you're going to crawl the elbows forward onto your mat. You'll take some of that flexion out of your hips and then step your right foot back. Take all the flexion out of your hips and come into a forearm plank. Line it up. If this is too much, if this went right into your low back, put your knees on the ground. Keep your toes tucked and firm your belly in. It's from the connection to the ground that you can take a breath and possibly lift your knees back up, forearm plank. This is far less, as you can imagine, on your wrist because you're connecting the entire forearm, which is going to connect you deep into your belly. And breathe for 3, 2, 1. Everybody back down onto your knees, press up onto your hands, and come into a tabletop. Knees are hip width apart. Take a breath in through your nose. Keep your lips sealed. As you exhale, the tops of the feet are rooting down into the ground. So I'm pressing the feet down. Drop the belly. Inhale, lift the chin, cow pose. And exhale, round the spine. Tuck the belly in and come into a cat pose. Lips sealed. Inhale to extend. Feel it. And exhale, tuck your chin. Let that physical part of your practice draw the awareness to your breath. Inhale to extend, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine. Feel the squeeze. Let's go. Inhale to a flat back. And curl your toes. Exhale, press back into a downward facing dog. The body is tight. Your pose doesn't feel quite as open as you're used to. It's okay. No need to judge it. Draw your awareness back to your breath. Work the breath and the mind through the sensation. And feel this. Down dog is like you're taking a morning stretch. You've got your arms over your head. You've got the ground to support. So the more you confirm the parts of your body touching the mat, the more you're going to feel that separation, the space, the stretch, the elongation with your breath. Inhale, roll out into a high plank. And as you exhale, draw your belly in, slide your gaze forward. And feel your body long and strong in plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. 1 breath in through your nose. And step your right foot in between your hands. We're going to warm up the quads. Take your gaze forward. Inhale, tap your left knee down. Exhale, lift your left knee up. So you guys hear me talk about Wally, the robot? Wally's across the street today. Inhale, tap the knee down. Exhale, lift the knee up. Keep it going. Tap the knee and lift the knee. So I think Wally, right, it's been this, I think it's a beta test that they're doing either for Postmates or Google. I think it's Postmates where these robots are going to be delivering, the food that you order online. It's really interesting. So what they do is they follow Wally. There's a human following the robot around the streets because Wally has to know everything that comes up. He has to know if I pass him on my bicycle or if I walk and cross in front of him. Keep tapping your knee as I tell you about Wally. 3, 2, and 1. Lift the knee, plant the hand, step back into your down dog, and you should feel that left quad versus your right quad. Lips sealed, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. So you've done something to one side of your body. There's an innate difference in how your mind is going to observe that experience. I've drawn you inside, and very quickly and swiftly, connecting to your breath. Keep your right foot there, step your left foot through. Fingertips are fine. Elongate your spine. Awesome. Tap your right knee to the mat and then lift it back up. Tap the knee to the mat. Lift it back up. Keep that going. When you're warming up your quad, which your quad is responsible for extending through the joint of the knee. So that means straightening your leg. What holds you back is some of that tightness in your hip flexors. So as you feel that, breathe into it and letting your mind wrap itself all the way around the feelings in your body. Let's go. 3, 2. Last one. Plant the hand, step back into your downward facing dog and feel the right side. Feel your tailbone slide up. Now we're getting deeper and feeling the back body stretch and press down into your hands. And bring your big toes together so they touch. Roll the weight into your toes. Lift your heels. Bend the knees. Look forward and take 2 big steps to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exaggerate the reach. Come up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Lips sealed, and I'm standing nice and proud. Inhale, reach your arms up. Stay here. Side bend to the right. Bring your right arm down, and your left arm reaches over. Draw the belly in. Rise up on your inhale. Side bend to the left. Left arm goes down. Reach your right hand over. Come back up. Inhale, reach. Bend your legs, sit down into a chair. Nice and easy through your jaw. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm pushing my tailbone out and then pulling it back in, which is creating the illusion and that there's a slight straightening of the legs and then bending to the knees. But I'm really moving in from the pelvis. Feeling the core strength. 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Inhale. Cactus the arms, open the chest, lift the chin. Beauty, inhale, arms up. Exhale, take a dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Plant the hand, step back into a high plank. You can hold your plank and breathe. If you want to go with me, 10 yogi push-ups, lower halfway down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Press back, downward facing dog. Let me tell you something interesting about Wally. He's been parked right out in front of me on the other side of the street. I just watched somebody pick up a bag from inside and then walk away. Fairly interesting. So interesting when you observe. Okay, let's see if he stays or if he moves. Bring your big toes together. Lift your heels up. Bend your knees. Take 2 steps to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exaggerate the reach. Come up. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Step back, exhale, down dog, hips high. Plant your hands, steady your gaze. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to your nose, crunch. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, step through, bend your left knee, step forward, both feet to the top. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, forward fold. We're warming up. Inhale, rise, arms reach. Bend your legs, sit into your chair. Bring your hands to your heart. Saturday morning, inhale. Afternoon, right elbow outside your left thigh. Press your left hand into your right. Slow down your exhale. And draw your bum back. And feel your feet, thighs strong. Spine stays long. Back to center. Inhale, rise, look up. Exhale, dive, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Listen, right foot back into a lunge. Left leg bends, lower your right knee down. Untuck your back toes. Slide your hips forward, bring your hands to your left thigh, elbows around your side. And there goes Wally, he's leaving. Shoulders away from your ears. Steady your gaze. Inhale, both arms reach up, but the gaze can remain in front. Feel as though you're lifting the wrist, grounding the shoulders. Deepen the awareness to your breath. From the base of your pelvis, draw the breath up to your heart center. Wonderful. Bring your gaze and hands down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift your right knee. Take an inhale. Step switch, right foot forward, left foot back. Take an inhale. Step switch, left foot forward, right foot back. Arm support, step switch. Step switch. From your belly, draw. Breathe through your hips. Hey, if it's tight in your neck, soften your chin, look down more. 3, 2, 1. Step back, downward facing dog. Press through your hands. Lengthen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. You should feel some of that warmth starting to beat up in sweat. And to cool you down, right foot stays. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to your nose, crunch. Inhale, kick back and up. Exhale, step through. Bend your right leg, core, step your right foot to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach the arms up. Bend your legs, exhale, sit into your chair. Hands to your heart, feel the proud chest. And twist, left elbow outside your right thigh. Neck is long, realizing the strength in the foundation, and below the belly button, still able to slide the breath through your hip creases. Keep your spine tall, come back to square. Inhale, rise, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive, forward fold, hands to the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Left foot back into your lunge. And bend your front leg, lower your back knee down. Untuck the toes. So I'm sliding the pelvis forward. Just means bend your front leg. Lips sealed. Walk your hands up to your right thigh. Elbows in around your sides. Shoulders down away from your ears. Little to no grip in your toes. Inhale, arms reach up. Gaze stays forward. It's enough. Feel the wrists lift and the shoulders ground. I'm always talking about rotating the hands. Changing the position of the hands is going to change the relationship and deeper into the core of your body. Follow the breath on your exhale. Bring your gaze and hands down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift the knee, rock and step, switch. Left foot forward, hands on mat, right foot back. Rock and step, switch. And so the hands never move. And draw it tight. If the neck is tense, keep your gaze down. Move from your belly. Feel it. It's like you're drawing knees to chest. 3, 2, 1. Step back, downward facing dog. Set your hands flat. And feel it deepening the inverted V. And you can exhale all the air out of your body. I say if you're practicing around everybody or anybody, the COVID size lips sealed, but you still act as though you're exhaling and sighing out of your mouth. You just keep your lips sealed. So it goes inhale. And take the hands, walk them back to the feet. Set your feet so they're hip width apart. Roll the heels off the mat. So lift the heels, roll the weight into the toes, bend your legs, and sit down onto your heels. Find your balance, float your arms out in front, and slide your belly in as you stack your shoulders over your hips. You can stay right here, focused. Ears back, chest proud. Option to hover your hips off your heels 6 inches. Feel your core. Talking about breathing, space into those hip creases. Use the strength in your upper back. Draw your belly in. Take an inhale. And exhale, lower your bum. Everybody hands to the mat. Crawl forward. Come back into your high plank. And do a push-up halfway down. Press back up. Outer edge of your right foot. Inner edge of your left foot. Look at your right hand. Reach your left arm up. And then pull it back behind you. Using the legs, feel the feet on the ground. Hey, you'll feel that engagement of your right side belly, your oblique. Bring your left hand down, pivot back onto your toes. You're getting stronger. Do a push-up. Come back up. Outer edge of your left foot, inner edge of your right foot. Look at your left hand, and then I can reach my right arm up, pull the wrist back in space. And without jeopardizing the bottom shoulder at all, feel the legs, feel the oblique, left side of your belly. It's all going to work out. Gaze and right hand down, pivot back to your toes. If you're just fatigued in your shoulders, don't do it. Otherwise, do a push-up. And then lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step right foot through. Pause, hands down, lift halfway. Gaze in front, straighten your front leg. Keep your right toes down. Slide through your inner right thigh, drawing it back. As you pull your heart forward, gaze on top of your right foot. Feel this. Turn your right toes out on a 45-degree angle. And crawl your hands forward, bend your front leg. So my right knee turns out in line with the toes. And you got a little winged action through your right leg. Lower your back knee down. Set your left hand flat and take your right hand to your inner right thigh. It is working deep into the hips. Roll your right shoulder away from your ear. And you feel it. Anything on the outside of your thigh, right there into your glute. And it's a gentle pressure of the hand into the leg. I'm not like pushing it away. It's the point where you can still breathe. You can bring your gaze and right hand down. Tuck your back toes. Lift your hips and turn your right heel out. Both hands are inside. Okay, there is a draw connection to your belly. You're going to take a dive, right shoulder behind your right knee. Take your right arm out into a T. Left arm goes out into a T. I'm on the fingertips of both hands. Shoulder tucked behind the knee, and I'm sliding the chest forward. Kick through your back heel. Feel your front foot, and then float your hands off the ground. You could do a little float. If you need them, put them back down. Okay, or keep them up. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring your hands back inside your right foot. Push the ground away. Inhale. Walk your hands to the left. Straighten your right leg. Pivot your toes in. Set your feet wide. Feel your outer hip flexors release. Lift halfway up. Pull your heart forward and then take a bow. Walk your hands back in between your feet. Palms shoulder width. So if you walk the hands back and then bring the weight into the heels of the hands of the feet, slide your heart forward, shoulders away from your ears. And breathe it in through your nose, out through your nose. So we're pretty deep right now. Hands walk under your shoulders, lift halfway. Listen. Turn your right toes back out to the top of your mat. Keep your left leg straight. So it's like warrior 2 legs, but now walk your hands over towards your right foot. You've set all this up for your right hand to touch the ground inside your right foot, and then your left arm reaches straight up. And root into your back foot. Little to no weight in your low back. And then you can lunge a little bit deeper. It's pretty deep. And you're modified in triangle. They used to call this the hot yoga triangle. Gaze and left hand down. Right hand outside your right foot. Pivot on your back toes. Lift the heel. Step back into your down dog. Ooh, press down into that right heel. Left big toe onto the back of your right ankle. Squeeze it out. Take a breath. Anytime you have the opportunity to lengthen your breath, you take that opportunity, bring your left foot back inside. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, big step, left foot all the way through. Fingertips walk back. Lift halfway so you're level, parallel with your torso to the ground. Straighten your front leg out. Nothing wrong with getting lost in the connection of your breath. That's the lessening of the attachment. That's doing something with the stress and feeling the body. It's all good. Turn your front toes out, 45. Crawl your hands forward, bend that front leg. And so you're going to bring that left leg more into a wing. The knee is turned out on 45. Harder to see on camera on this side. Take your back knee down onto the mat. Untuck your toes, right hand flat, left hand to your inner left thigh. Keep the elbow tight to your side. You'll feel the hip crease. You might feel the outer thigh and the outer hip. More importantly, feel the direction of the breath from the base of your pelvis. You're extracting the tension, the emotional tightness, and so that you can flow more freely in that peace into your mind. Gaze and left hand down. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Turn your front heel out. We've squared it up. And remember this one. Left shoulder tucks behind your left knee. Chest down. Take your left arm, hand out into a T. And take, I'd suppose it's more like a Y. Shoulder behind knee. Strengthen your right leg. And then we can play front foot down. Lift the hands off the ground. Pull your heart through. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring your hands back inside the left foot. Press the mat away. Draw through your belly. Beauty. Walk your hands to the right. Pivot. Turn your left toes in. Wide legs in the forward fold. Feel the outer hip flexors release. Walk your hands back in between your legs. So as you get the hands back, then push or slide the hands forward and feel that. And draw the shoulders away from your ears. And then you can hinge from the waist, go a little bit deeper. And feel that on your inner thighs, back of your legs, hamstrings. Crawl your hands under your shoulders, lift halfway. Straight arms. Let's do it. Turn your left toes out like warrior two legs, but it's a really wide warrior two. And crawl your hands over towards your left foot. Ooh, left hand down. And draw your right arm up. And bum rolling under. Shoulders down. As your heart turns, your gaze follows. And eventually you might lift your gaze all the way up. It's pretty deep in the hips, you guys. Draw with your belly. Breathe to receive. And gaze and right hand down. Take your left hand outside your left foot. Pivot on your back toes. Step your left foot back. Come into your downward dog. Pedal out your dog. Bend one knee. Bend the other knee. If you're like me, you're feeling the inner and straight into the front of your hip flexors. Okay, but your bum, your outer hips are open. Let's take a flow. Inhale, forward plank. Bend the arms. Exhale, chaturanga. Tops of the feet press. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. 2 big steps to the top of your mat. Bend your knees, top of the mat, arms up, Utkatasana. Swing the arms back, chair pose, swing, chest to your knees. Inhale, rise, arms up, interlace the fingers on top. And release the index, side bend to the right. Tailbone down, stay as you draw. And feel the side body. Expanding on the left, still lifting and lengthening through the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Great, deep connection to your core. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Big toes touch. Roll the weight into your toes. Lift your heels up. Tailbone down, belly in. Start to bend your legs. Come down halfway. Pause. Roll your heels into the mat. Reach your arms up. You're in a deeper chair. Take a dive. Exhale. You did it. Forward fold. Inhale. Lift halfway. Open the chest. Plant the hands. Step back into your high plank. Slide the gaze forward. Feel your neck long so you're not dumping the weight into your shoulders or your wrist. And pedal out your plank. Hands and feet stay. Those hips, your hips, and should feel much more open than when you started, and with less tension, less tightness, and through your bum. Keep it going, 30 seconds. Firm hands, head up, less weight into your shoulders. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Draw it back, downward facing dog. Slow down your exhale. Slide your gaze to your hands. So it's a float step. Right knee into your chest. Weight into your hands. Step your right foot in between. Pivot your back heel down. Put the weight through your back heel. Windmill the arms up. And you're in Warrior 2. Soften the gaze out over your right shoulder. Keep the tailbone down, chest proud. Straighten your front leg. Flip your right palm up. Inhale to reverse. Follow the right hand up with your gaze. You'll feel this nice and stable. Come back. Keep your legs straight. Reach forward. Right hand down. Left arm goes up. In transition, look down at your right foot. We're going to hover this right hand. So do this. Make a fist with your right hand. Bend your front leg. Pull your right elbow towards your outer right hip. Transfer the weight, lift your back leg, and then float your right arm down straight, half moon. And so avoiding any weight in your low back, lift your chest like up dog, put a bend to your right knee, then square your hips, and draw your left knee through, lift it up in front of you. That takes some body awareness. Reach your arms out. Cross your left leg over and then sit. Left arm under, eagle pose, Garudasana. Okay, we're going to draw it in today. Elbows to your knees. And sit down. Squeeze. Feel it. Draw to your center. The range of your center is much larger than we think it is. Draw to your center. Wrap everything in. Bend your standing leg as deep as you can. Lips sealed with your inhale. Rise slowly. Lift your left knee up. Feet down, legs straight, arms by your sides. Ooh, big toes together. Humble your chin. Feel your feet. Roll your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And gaze forward. Nice job, everybody. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take a bow. Forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant step, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Nice and open, and you can gauge that because your breaths are expanding. Your breath is slowing down. Right foot stays, inhale, left leg up. Knee to your chest, big step, left foot all the way through. Pivot your back heel down. Windmill the arms, come up, warrior two. Slide the ribs in, draw the knees apart, and your gaze out over your left hand. Little to no grip in the jaw. Turn your front palm up. Straighten your front leg and then reverse. Follow the gaze up through your left hand. It's your breath. Connects your body to your mind. More peace. Bring the arms back, legs straight. Reach forward. Left hand down to your shin. Right arm is up. In transition, take your gaze down. You feel your left hand in front, make a fist. Pull your left elbow to your left hip, bend your front leg. Transfer the weight, lift your back. Keep the weight out of your low back. You lift your heart, bend your left knee, and then square your hips. Right knee through, lift it up in front of you. Woo. Right leg over your left leg. Right arm under, Garudasana. You could always do that. And step by step, touching the ground. Listen to your body. And then curl it in to crunch, elbows to your knees. And sit down, bend your standing leg as much as you can. With your breath, inhale, rise, stand up, lift your right knee in front. Ooh, right foot down, arms by your sides, feet together. Humble your chin, take a breath in, roll your shoulders back and down. Good job, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive, forward fold. Hands to mat, inhale, lift halfway. Plant, you can step or light hop, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. And bring your big toes together in your dog. As you start to lift your heels, bend your legs, turn your knees out. Bend your legs more, hover your knees so they're about 3 to 6 inches off the mat. You bring your knees down onto the ground. Lift your hips so they're over your knees. Untuck your toes. Okay, drop your belly out like cow pose. And then just crawl your hands forward. Arms straight. Bring your chest and your chin down onto the ground. If that's too much, forehead to the mat is fine. And spread your fingers, firm the hands, and start to lift your chin and your chest up. Walk your hands back onto the mat. And slide your hips forward. Arms are straight. And then your hips get heavy. So it's like you're doing an up dog, Okay, now separate the feet so they're as wide as your mat. Press down through the tops of the feet, adjust the knees in. Okay, look down the chest. Walk the hands in a little closer, turn your middle fingers out. As you let the hips get heavy, okay, the shoulders can shrug towards the ears. And chin down to your chest as the shoulders shrug. Feel this nice release in any of that belly stress that you're holding on to. You'll feel the compression honestly through your low back. Just make sure it's not sharp shooting. And general pressure is okay. Feel your knees, draw your belly in, start to lift your bum inch by inch. Go slow. Feel the shoulders neutral. Come back to tabletop, all fours, hands and knees. And let your spine be neutral. Take a breath in. And exhale like we started. Come down onto your forearms. Okay, now this time, palms together in prayer. Forearms ground. Step back into your forearm plank. Lift your knees, tuck your toes, big toes together. One line. Push the palms together. So I am pressing the hands together actively, firming from the elbows all the way out through the wrist to the pinky sides of the palms. And feel that's going to knit the ribs in, turn you into that expansive center, and feel your entire body drawing into the midline. Keep the head up. Take the weight out of the shoulders for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Softly bring the knees down. Come up onto your hands, please. Crawl your knees to the top of your mat. Separate them behind your wrist and sit down onto your heels or in between. Hands on your thighs. Gaze in front. If you'd like a little sip of water, you are welcome to take a sip. Once you're done with your water, hands set behind your feet, fingertips face forward. Slide your tailbone through and connect to your thighs, and then you can start to recline. And belly in, tailbone forward. And shins ground, elbows to the mat. As you're feeling the thighs, keep the chin close to the chest. And sometimes lifting the chin is just going to exacerbate in the curve and put a crunch into your low spine, so you can keep your chin close to your chest. Feel the breath move through your thighs, through your belly. And draw your navel in. Start to come back up to your hands. And as you rise, head above your heart, turn your knees in. And let your low back separate. Hands onto your thighs, palms face down. Arms straight, creating a kickstand for your heart. Strong posture, head above your heart, gaze in front. Finish your exhale, bring your gaze and hands to the mat. Crawl your knees back, inhale, tabletop. Tuck your toes, exhale, lift your knees, and come into a modified down dog. Keep your knees bent. Feel your tailbone sway side to side. And then create that space across the sacrum and the back of your hips. You can roll your heels down as long as you draw your belly in, tailbone up. Inhale, your left leg lifts up. And exhale, left knee outside your left wrist, single-legged pigeon. Flex the left ankle, bring the foot forward. Slide your right knee back. Square the hips. Okay, it's the tailbone down. Square the chest, roll it up. And you might already feel it here. If you feel it here, you do not have to hinge and come down. Stay here. Keep your hips back. If you do come down, elbows. Let's explore in these open hips. Crawl your hands back onto the mat. So you know how you try to get your left shin parallel to the top of your mat? Let the heels slide back so your shin is more like 45. Cool. Set your hands. Curl your right heel in towards your bum. Look over your left shoulder and reach back with your left hand. Grab the inside of your right foot. And tailbone down. And push into your front shin. And then reach your right hand back and for the outside of your right ankle. Okay, today, you might be able to get both hands onto your right ankle or shin. Square it up, tailbone down, and let the kick draw you open through the chest, putting no weight in your low back for 10, 9, 8, 7. You got it. Breathe. Best thing we can do. Breathe. Out the way you came in, look down, right hand in front, and chin low, and release your left hand back in front. Feel that breath in your chest. Tuck your back toes, set your hands, and come all the way back into your downward facing dog. Nice place to restore. 3 breaths. Feel the set to the spine. Feel the openness through your practice and where you get tight and where you know you're tense. And now that beautiful opposition, the expansion of the being. Pretty simple. Gaze to your hands. Right knee outside your right wrist. And set the shin down. Right foot comes forward. And left knee slides back. You can stay up with it. Chest proud, shoulders down. And if you're feeling it in the outer right hip, this helps take so much weight, stress, pressure off of that pull inward towards your sacrum. If you'd like a little more, keep the tailbone down and come down onto your forearms. Connect to your breath. Inhale, walk your hands in. We're going to adjust the front leg first. So if your shin is parallel, slide the heel back a little bit so your shin's on a 45. Left hand stays. Curl your left heel in, reach back with your right hand, catch the inside of the foot. You will feel the ball up of your hamstring. It's because you activated your hamstring. Tailbone down, reach your left hand back for the outside of your ankle or shin. And perhaps today you get both hands. And tailbone down. And then as you kick, shoulders away from your ears. And you're spreading across the belly and all the way up to the chest. Sometimes we do things we've never done before. And with our body, with our breath, showing our minds that there are so many different ways and to connect to peace, even through the incredible amount of chaos, turbulence, friction. And gaze down, bring your left hand back in front. And look down, release your left foot with your right hand. Woo, tuck your back toes, lift the knee, step back into your downward facing dog. Feel your body in your down dog, which may feel like uncharted territory, like your down dog hasn't been here in a while. Let's take care of those hamstrings. Come down onto your knees, swing your feet around in front. It's called Paschimottanasana. Active seated forward fold, both legs straight out in front of you. Pull out the flesh of the bum, feel your sit bones ground. Flex the ankles, toes point straight up, and then reach your arms up. So everything we did to open the hips, it develops the opportunity and to lift straight up in this L shape. Keep your inner thighs your waist and then hinge, reach forward, peace fingers to your big toes. That's one. If not, grab your ankles or your shins. And if more, you could take the hands all the way over the feet, toes to your wrists. Slide your heart through, shoulders down. It's that web I was talking about at the beginning of the practice. And I always say nature, beautiful nature, is here to remind us all we have to do is take not even the time, take the moments to be present and to see what's actually happening right in front of you. Not what's happening 2 months down the road, 6 months down the road, 2 years down the road. Look what's happening right in front of us. 3 more breaths. On your inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, release your hands, bring them back beside you. You could stay palms on the mat, humble your chin. That might feel good. If you want to walk the hands back a few inches, arms are straight, plug into the hands, and then lift the hips, point your toes, inverted plank pose. Take your gaze straight up. Inch by inch, start to bring your bum back down. And when your bum touches the ground, cross your legs, right shin in front of your left shin. Keep facing the top of your mat. And I'm simply going to turn so that I'm facing you in a cross-legged seated position. Hands beside you. Those can be nice little kickstands. And so that you can feel an energy line to your spine that is free. If you're able to maintain that, and with softness, and then bring the back of the hands on your inner knees, inner thighs, so that your palms are facing up. So either way, kickstand or back of the hands on your inner knees. It's a gentle twist. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Take your left hand behind. And rotate around your spine. And come back to center. And switch left hand outside your right thigh, right hand behind your spine. And gentle twist. And come back to the light line of the spine. Either hands beside or back of the hands, inner thighs, inner knees, palms face up. I'm with you, you're with me. Sometimes we need this. I'm with you, you're with me, we are one. If you hurt, I hurt. If I struggle, you struggle. And perhaps you may think that we're talking about the couple hundred of us that will be practicing together in this way, but what if we expand that into our communities, that which is closest to us when we go to the grocery store? And we find ourselves at our favorite restaurant, and then what if we expand that and expand that and expand that? Actually can make you a bit emotional in a good way, in a human way. We cannot forget that we are humans. And it's so beautiful and to be human. If you're feeling it right now and you want to stay here, hover and observe here. If you'd rather lie down onto your back, you're welcome to have a little sip of water and turn around to lie onto your back, please. And notice your breath now as you release the breath practice. And it turns into total observation. It turns into complete awareness, and where you can't judge it and say, I'm 50% aware, I'm 75% aware. It turns into complete awareness of what you're feeling, of what you're thinking. I mean, the process of all the energy. You just put it down on your mat for an hour. It is not your responsibility to pick it back up and take it with you. If you allow this flow to exist, you have a portal into process. You have a resource that you can trust, that you can come back to time and time and time and time again. There's nothing more beautiful than the repetition of a daily practice. If it's moving asana, great. If it's meditation, if it's a walking meditation, if it's going for a bike ride, whatever serves you. So please take your time in this restful place, this peaceful place. And thank you all for your contributions and your effort and your breath, and of course for being the web connected. And take your time. I am here with you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Talia on Tuesday, and Thursday, and Nicole on Wednesdays. Okay, we thank you so much for sharing the practice. We can't wait to see you all back at the studio. Have a beautiful Saturday, everyone. Namaste.